Hello, this is the safety video for our 8-inch Rockwell jointer. Since we're talking about safety, there's nothing more important than these safety glasses when we're working with power tools. So please wear safety glasses when using power tools. They call this an 8-inch jointer because this blade right here is 8 inches across. This is a straight blade and will clean up the work. This infeed table is lower than this outfeed table. So when your work goes through, the rotating blade will clean off a rough surface. This fence keeps our work 90 degrees from the blade. It's already adjusted for a correct feed right now. Unless you've had more advanced training, please don't adjust the jointer. To turn it on, we'd simply push this green button. But before we do that, it is required that we have sawdust collection. For sawdust collection to be effective, this gate has to be open. This helps remove all of the chips that will be produced by this blade. If this is not open and the dust collection system is not on, this machine will pack up with chips and it may damage the machine. This is our sawdust collection system. Once we turn this on and we turn on our power, we can feed our work through. The goal when feeding work through this is not to have your hands over this area. Work can be stabilized to cut this rough surface. I have a clean surface here. I can push that against the fence and feed this through. And when I get to here, I'm simply going to use my push stick and push the work all the way through. The danger in this is that the blade is rotating this way, and if I have my hand over here and the blade catches a knot or a change in grain in the wood, it'll shoot that piece of wood out of the way and my hands could go and touch this whirling blade. That would be a hospitalization kind of accident. Please avoid that. Whenever working with power tools and wood, it's always useful to have a push stick. I have one here, and I have another one for narrower, smaller pieces right here. The table should be cleaned off before you use it. Any dust on the table can affect your final outcome. The fence should be clean. So now I'm going to set this up for cutting to clean up this surface. I turn on the saw. this up, and this side is now perpendicular to this face. These two faces were already parallel for planing, so this surface is now perpendicular to both of these faces. I can now go to the table saw and rip this side parallel. This concludes our safety video for the joiner.